What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Better Days Films. It's your boy Z, and I'm back with another Christmas movie review. I want to start this review off by saying thank you to everyone who checked out my very first Christmas movie review, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then I just put out the first Home Alone review yesterday. Appreciate all the support that I'm getting on TikTok and on my other social media platforms. I really appreciate it. Well, today we're here to talk about and review the Christmas movie, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. This movie, as a kid, I really enjoyed. Out of the first and second Home Alone, this is my favorite. I really enjoy the very first Home Alone. I can go back to it all the time, but Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is my all-time favorite. Because being a kid and seeing New York, all the buildings and stuff, I was so amazed as a kid. So amazed. I was so amazed. And I loved the movie. And I get it's pretty much the same formula as the very first one, but I still enjoy this, especially seeing the Plaza Hotel. See the Plaza Hotel as a kid, I'm just like that place looks amazing. But yeah, I definitely enjoy this. Definitely enjoy Home Alone 2 a lot more than the first one, but I still enjoyed the very first one. Well, this one, Home Alone 2 plot is about, Kevin accidentally gets separated from his family. Instead of getting left at home this time, Kevin is running through the airport with his family, and he needs batteries for his Talkboy tape recorder thing that he has, which I loved as a kid until this day. I still mad I never got it as a kid. That Talkboy looked amazing when I first saw Home Alone 2. Well, they're going to Florida this time. The first one they went to Paris. They're going to Florida this time. Well, at the airport, they're running through the airport. Kevin needs batteries for his Talkboy. Is in his dad's bag. And Kevin stops to put batteries. Instead of waiting to get it to the plane, he stops while everybody's still running in the middle of the airport to try to put the batteries in his Talkboy. Well, he ended up put his batteries in the Talkboy, and then he starts running after his family, Dad, wait up. Dad, wait up. And he's behind. And it just so happens to be a guy at the airport who has the same coat and hairstyle as his dad. So Kevin mistakes that guy for his dad and follows that guy to the terminal to get on the plane. Well, as Kevin was running, he knocked into the woman at the gate before you get on the plane, and knocked the passports and his passport all over the place. And he said that his family was on this plane. They asked him you sure your family's on this plane? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, this happened to me last year and almost wrecked my Christmas. So the guy told him, board him, but make sure he locates his family before you leave him. So he gets on. She's like, you see your family? And still to the back, that same guy, he's like, there's my dad over there. And he goes to find an empty seat. Little do he know he's on the New York plane and his family is on the Miami plane. So his mom already has a bad feeling. She's like, I have that terrible feeling. His dad's like, terrible memories. We remember everything. We have everybody. There's nothing to worry about. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Well, Kevin is on the plane and he starts asking a guy, have you ever been to Florida? The guy speaks no English whatsoever. Speaks no English, and Kevin can't understand what he's saying, so he puts on his headphones and listens to music on his talk boy. And when he puts the headphones on, that's when the flight attendant makes the announcement that, it's nonstop to New York, so Kevin doesn't hear it. And, parents, the family land in Miami, and Kevin's bag comes on while they're getting their luggage. They're like, everybody's like, give us to Kevin, give us to Kevin, give us to Kevin. Then his cousin is like, here you go, Kevin. Kevin's not next to him. He's like, Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here. Goes right back around. Kevin's not here. His mom's like, gives the bag to his dad. Kevin's not here. They're like, what? She starts laughing like, Kevin! And faints. So Kevin gets off the plane, looking for his family, and goes up to a window and notices this doesn't look like Florida. So then he runs up to somebody at a desk and asks her, what city is that over there? It's like, that's New York, sir. He's like, yikes, I did it again. So then he goes sit down because she's like, is there something wrong, sir? He's like, I'll be fine. So he goes sit down and he goes oh no, my family's in Florida and I'm in New York. My family's in Florida and I'm in New York. Get a little eyebrow raise. So he makes his way to New York in a taxi, and which is one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I think it's Darlene Love, All Alone for Christmas, is playing during this montage of Kevin going around different areas in New York, taking pictures, and I think it was a great moment. You get to see, a lot of New York. So seeing that as a kid, I was amazed. And to this day, I love New York. I've been there a few times within the last few months. I love New York. Love New York City. And as you can see, I am a New York Giants fan, so yeah, New York. But Kevin goes around, New York, taking pictures and all that stuff. And he goes, first let me get to this part. You also find out overnight before the family left for the airport, a newspaper blew up against their door and it said that the Wet Bandits escaped during a prison riot. And where it just so happened the Wet Bandits go, same place as Kevin, New York City. So the Wet Bandits are in New York, Kevin's in New York. Here we go. So Kevin goes to the Plaza Hotel to get a room because while he was before they left for the airport the night before, he was watching TV in his parents' room and he was watching a game show and they just so happened to talk about the Plaza Hotel and he recorded it on his talk boy, on his talk boy. So he's going to go get a room there. But, also, just like the first one, he ended up having a fight with his family before they left for the airport because they was singing in a Christmas pageant and they were all holding little fake candles that glow up. And Buzz, his brother Buzz, took somebody else's and put both of them up against Kevin's ears so his ears would glow, and everybody in the crowd at the show is laughing and he's taking them, pretending to beat Kevin's head like a drum with him, and the whole time while Kevin's singing. So Kevin realized what he's doing. He goes down, he pushes them, and everybody falls off the stage. Props fall down. A Christmas tree prop falls down, hit the piano lady in the face, and she falls back. And the whole time, is crowd's laughing, his uncle's laughing. So once again, being a douchebag to Kevin. So they're all at home, and and Buzz pretends to apologize to Kevin, which is a load of crap because, after he apologized, his family's all like, his mom's like, oh, that was nice. And she's like, Kevin, do you have something to say? And I'm still trying to figure out how nobody heard this because it was so quiet in there. He walks up, covers up his face, walks up to Kevin and goes like, beat that, you little child sniffer. So Kevin said, I'm not apologizing. Like, I did what I did because Buzz humiliated me. And since he gets away with everything, I'll let him have it. Since y'all so stupid to believe his lies, I don't care if your idiotic Florida trip gets wrecked or not. Who wants to spend Christmas in a tropical climate anyway? So they're like, his mom and dad's like, Kevin, you walk out of here, you're sleeping on the 3rd floor. And his cousin's like, yeah, with me. And Kevin's like, so what else is new? And cheap Uncle Frank, one of my favorite lines as a kid that Kevin said. Uncle Frank's like, you better not wreck my trip, you little sourpuss. Your dad's paying good money for it. Kevin's like, oh, won't want to spoil your fun, Mr. Cheapskate. I forgot how many times as a kid I rewinded that part. But, his mom comes up and talks to him and goes up and talks to him and said, like, we had a problem that started off just like this last year. And he's like, yeah, with me getting cracked on. And, she's like, when you're ready to apologize to Buzz and the rest of the family, you can come down. And he's like, I'm not apologizing to Buzz. I'd rather kiss a toilet seat. So, and he's like, she's like, you can stay up here for the rest of the night. He's like, okay, I don't want to be on anyway. I can't trust anybody in this family. Then he starts saying he wants to go, if he had his own money, he'd go on his own vacation alone without any of them and have the most fun of his whole life. And which actually came true again. So Kevin goes to get a room at the Plaza Hotel. He uses his Talkboy tape recorder he records it and he puts it in the chopped and screwed voice, the really deep voice, to pretend to be his dad so he could book the reservation for the hotel. Which I'm actually kind of surprised that Kevin was actually able to get a room at the Plaza Hotel. A suite at that. Was able to get a suite at the Plaza Hotel 2 days before Christmas. Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. Well, he goes, talks to the front desk. He has a story that, he's in town with his dad. His dad has business meetings and he can't go in. He has to sit in the lobby. So he tells them that his dad dropped him off at the hotel and asked them to check him into the hotel room. And the woman actually believes him and checks him into the hotel. Tim Curry is also plays one of the people that work at the hotel, and the moment he saw Kevin, he was suspicious as hell. Like, he was really, really suspicious as hell. Sorry, I was reading my notes. But, so, take him up to the hotel room because they fall for a story. It's a nice suite, got a nice bed, nice shower, everything. The room's beautiful as hell. So, Kevin gives the guy, I think Cedric, played by Rob Schneider. Yeah. Well, the guy wants a tip. He wants a tip for bringing his luggage up to the room. Kevin gives him a stick of gum. So there's plenty more where that came from. Well, Kevin starts having fun in the hotel. He goes down to the pool. Every adult is like staring at him like, what the heck is this kid doing down here? So then he orders room service, a whole bunch of desserts, ice cream, and all that. He's watching that same type of movie that he watched in the very first movie, but it's called Angels with Even Filthier Souls. And he's all relaxing, like this is vacation. And another part, the guy asked him, like, does he want 2 scoops of ice cream? He's like, 2 scoops, sir. Kevin's like, 2, make it 3. I'm not driving. Oh, that was another funny part. Well, Kevin's enjoying the hotel room. Tim Curry character comes up and pretty much kind of breaks into the hotel room, pretends to be housekeeping, has the key, unlocks the door. Kevin Heron runs in, and he runs in the bathroom, starts to shower. Well, this scene, Kevin has an inflatable clown that his grandmom got him. And he also has on his Talkboy tape recorder a recording of his uncle singing Cool Jerk in the shower. So Kevin uses that to trick Tim Curry to thinking that there's an adult in there. So Tim Curry walks in the room, goes in the bathroom, the music's playing. He looks in the bathroom. All he sees is somebody in the shower going like this and singing, when really it's Kevin with the clown with a whole bunch with strings on it tied to pencils, and he's going like so. And when Kevin was recording, his uncle noticed that he was in there, and he opened up the shower, was like, "Get out of here, you nosy little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly." So that part was on the tape to trick Tim Curry. Kevin turns the clown around. It's like, you see the showers. "Get out of here, you nosy little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly." Tim Curry runs like bat out of hell out the hotel room. But you can already tell that Kevin's starting to miss his mom, because he walks out to the window before he goes to bed. He says, "Good night, Mom," and his mom's also looking out the window in Florida, saying, "Good night, Kevin." Well, Marv and Harry, they are loose in New York, and this time they're not robbing houses. Their plan this time is to rob a toy store on Christmas Eve, because they'll have the most cash and nobody else will think to rob it. Well, next day Kevin comes down from the hotel room. Tim Curry talks to him like, "I want to offer my dear apology to your dad. Will he be down soon?" So Kevin's like, "You'll probably never see, my dad for the rest of our trip, because, would you want to see a guy that you saw in the shower?" So Kevin's like, "I'm pretty sure you're probably not going to see him for the rest of our trip." So Tim Curry, suspicious, goes to run the credit card. Well, when they were reporting that Kevin was lost to the police in Florida, the dad realized that Kevin had his bag, his wallet, his credit cards, and all that. Well, they notified the credit card company so that if Kevin uses it, they would know his whereabouts. Well, Tim Curry runs the credit card for credit card fraud, and Kevin walks outside. They have a limousine and a cheese pizza waiting for him. So he's taking a stroll through New York. This coffee's good. I'm sorry. Taking a ride through New York. Asked the limo driver, any good toy stores? And he's like, "Yes, sir." Takes him to Duncan Toy Chest. And as Kevin's in the limo, Tim Curry, he gets the information back that the credit card's stolen. So he's all happy about that. And the toy store that Marvin Harry actually wants to rob is Duncan Toy Chest, the same toy store Kevin's at. Well, Kevin ends up, buying some stuff. He ends up talking to a guy, and the guy's name is actually Mr. Duncan, but at the time he doesn't know. And Mr. Duncan is donating all the money that he makes on Christmas Eve to the children's hospital in New York. So Kevin makes a donation. He ends up giving them some two turtle doves off a Christmas tree out on the counter, and they'll explain the situation of the turtle doves to him, like, you keep one and you give the other one to a very special person, because the turtle doves are a symbol of friendship and love, and as long as you each have your turtle doves, you'll be friends forever. So Kevin takes them. As he's leaving, he sees a portrait of Mr. Duncan, same guy that was behind the counter. So Marv and Harry's in these little houses inside Duncan's toy chest, and their plan is they're going to hide in the little houses, and when they close Duncan's toy chest for the night, they're going to come out, rob it, and walk out like they own the joint. So Kevin's outside looking at a tourist map. Marv and Harry walks outside, and Harry sees him, and of course they have to go after him. And they go after a kid. As I said, you can tell they're in New York. And nobody cares, because they try to take him in the middle of the daytime on a busy behind street. So they're like, look who it is, Moth. Come on, let's get him. They're like, hiya, pal. Kevin turns around, and Kevin yells so freaking loud. Like, everybody stops and looking, but nobody asks what's wrong. So Kevin runs off. They're chasing after him. Like I said, in the middle of a busy behind New York day. Nobody's questioning why is this kid running, or why are these dudes chasing after this kid. So Kevin stops and buys some fake beads off a guy so he can set up a little trap to slow them down, which he does. And he runs back to the Plaza Hotel. He sees Tim Curry's character, and he's like, you gotta help me. There's two guys after me. And he's like, what's the matter? Store wouldn't take your stolen credit card. Let's see what the police have to say about this. So Kevin runs off. In the hotel, all the hotel staff is chasing after him. He runs upstairs to his room and says he has enough of this. He grabs some cookies and stuff before because he's like, I had enough of this vacation. I'm going home. So Kevin's getting his stuff together in the hotel room, but as he's getting his stuff together, here comes the hotel staff to try to stop him. Well, just like the first one, when he tricked the pizza guy, with the movie, and also tricked Marv with the movie, he did it again this time. So it's like they all come busting in here. Hold it right there. Yeah, he's like, this is the concierge, sir. I knew it was you. I can smell you getting off the elevator. You was here last night too, wasn't you? Like, yes, sir, I was. You was here, and you was smooching with my brother. So Kevin uses the movie to trick them. Of course, the movie has like the gun part. You hear a gun shooting, so they all think that somebody's back there with a gun. So they all run out and duck on the ground. There's people coming out. There's other hotel guests coming out of their room, peeking, trying to see what's going on. And Kevin runs, try to leave out the back. But who's out the back waiting for him? Marv and Harry. So they capture him. And there's also a character in this movie who, just like the first one, acts kind of creepy in a way. It's a pigeon lady. Like the old guy with the shovel in the first one. It's a pigeon lady this time. There's a whole bunch of pigeons all over her. She's homeless, and she takes care of the pigeons and stuff. And Marv and Harry capture him. They let him know, what their plan is. Marv let him know what his plan, what their plan is this time. And Harry's like, maybe you want to shut up. He's like, what? He's not going to talk to anybody. Except maybe a fish or the Undertaker. So, also Harry has a gun. He also has a gun in his pocket in this one. So, there was a woman that was when Harry and Marv and Harry first got to New York that Marv accidentally bumped into. And she thought he was trying to take his purse because he had tape. He has tape on his hand, like on the outside, so it sticks to stuff. So she thinks he's trying to steal the purse. So he's like, Marv's right on more shady, and she smacks him. He's like, I think she likes me. So they see that same lady's in front of them while they're waiting at the stoplight with Kevin. Kevin grabs her butt, and she turns around. She sees Marv again, and she's like, well, hello. Knocks the crap out of him, and then Kevin's like, he did it. Harry's like, did what? She knocks the crap out of him. Kevin's like, thanks. Runs off into the park, and they lose him. And they're like, I hate to pull a job with that kid around. And he's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Kids are helpless. Not this kid. He was like, yeah, but this time he doesn't have a house full of dangerous goodies to get us with. He's in the park. He's alone. Kids are scared of the park. Yeah, the grown men come in the park and don't leave alive. So Kevin starts finding out how creepy New York is at night because, like I said, he's not staying at the Plaza Hotel anymore because they chased him away. The cops let the family know that he's in New York. They take a plane from Miami to New York, and Kevin starts seeing how creepy and how scary New York is at night. He sees, two prostitutes like, hey, you looking for somebody to read you a bedtime story? So he runs in the park, bumps into some pigeons, starts feeding them, and then, like I said, that's the only thing. Like, why do these two people act so creepy? Like the old guy with the shovel in the first one, now the pigeon lady. She comes up from behind the rocks, and then Kevin gets scared, starts yelling, and his foot's stuck, and it looks like she's about to grab him, but then she frees his foot. He runs off. He stops and starts realizing, I'm sorry I screamed in your face. You were just trying to help me, right? And she shakes her head, yeah. So they have a nice little conversation. He introduces himself and asks him about the pigeons. When they come back on their own, they have to call him. So she comes down, gives him some bird seed, throws it up in the air. All the pigeons come down. He invites her to get some hot chocolate as his treat, and they go to someplace warm to talk and stuff. Just like how the first one was with the old guy with the shovel. So they're at this abandoned music store. They have a nice little conversation. She tells her life story. He tells his, what he's doing in New York by himself. And like I said, they have a nice little conversation, and he ends up leaving. And as he's walking, he walks past Children's Hospital, sees a little boy in the window that waves to him. Kevin waves back, and in his mind, he remembered about what Marv and Harry was going to do. And he was like, at midnight tonight, we're hitting Duncan's Toy Chest. So he's like, they can mess with a lot of things, but they can't mess with kids on Christmas. So Kevin springs into action. This time, he uses because his uncle that lived in Paris has a house in New York that's being renovated. Kevin stopped by there earlier in the movie, but of course it was renovated. There was nobody there. So that's where Kevin runs, and he's gonna launch his master plan. So he uses his uncle's house, the renovated house, to set all his traps for Marv and Harry. So he goes back to Duncan's toy chest. He sees them in the window. He sees them through the window, stealing all the money and stuff. And, you know, he knocks on the window. There's like, he's back. Kevin takes their picture. Like, he took our picture. Marv's like, how did my hair look? So he takes a brick and throws it through the window to break it, sets off the alarm. He has a board that's on a bucket. The bucket's on the side, puts the board on. So when they come out, it acts like, you know, like a pier thing. So Harry runs out, jumps, and then he realizes what he's standing on. He's like, he turns around, Marv is running. He's trying to say, Marv. He's like, I'm coming, Harry. So Marv jumps down. Harry goes flying up in the air, lands on the car. Marv's like, Harry, that was incredible. So they chase Kevin to the house, and it's a whole bunch of traps. You know, really good moments. Really good moments with the traps. I like the traps. And meanwhile, his family do get to New York. They find out from the Plaza Hotel what's going on. And his mom goes off to New York to look for him. And the funny part was, his mom did go to his uncle's house. And she seen a taxi. And as she was getting in the taxi and driving off, Kevin was running down the street to the house. So she just missed him, which is a good thing because of what the situation was. So they're at the house. Kevin goes up to the roof and has a bunch of bricks. They're trying to trick him, make a deal with them. But Kevin starts throwing bricks down, starts hitting Marv in the face, knocks the crap out of Marv. Marv's all like, Harry's like, how many fingers am I holding up, Marv? 8. And still throwing bricks. He's like, go ahead, throw another one. Marv's like, Harry, no. So, they set a bunch of traps. They fall for all of them. And after all the traps and stuff, Kevin goes to finally use a payphone to call the cops and tell them that, you know, that the people that robbed Duncan's toy chest, they're going to be at the park, you know, Central Park, and look for fireworks. Well, as Kevin is running, he slips on some ice. They capture him again, and they take him to the park, and they're going to shoot him. But the pigeon lady happens to be there, and she rescues him, throws a whole bunch of birdseed on Marv and Harry, and all the pigeons in the park just all start storming them. Marv's freaking out, and the scream that he does is classic. I can't imitate it, but... And then the cops eventually see the fireworks. They come, and even the cop sees all the birds like, oh my God. So they capture Marv and Harry, and the brick that Kevin threw through the window has a note on it. And it lets Mr. Duncan know that he was the one that broke the window and that he was trying to catch the bad guys. That if he didn't have an insurance, Kevin would send him some money if he ever got back to Chicago. So he's like, you know, Merry Christmas, Kevin McAllister. P.S. Thanks for the turtle doves. And Mr. Duncan realizes that who Kevin is. So His mom's looking for him, asking people on the street. She runs into some cops. The cops is like, you know, if you filed a report, and she's like, yeah, I did, and you're like, you know, we'll handle it. And then, you know, the cops like, you know, put yourself in your kid's shoes. Where would you go? What would you do? And, you know, she realizes where Kevin is. She checks Rockefeller Center. That's exactly where Kevin is. You know, wishing that he doesn't want any presents. He just wants his family back. They run into each other. They apologize. They go back to the Plaza Hotel because that's where they're all staying at. The next morning, you see a Duncan's Toy Chest truck delivering a whole bunch of presents. His cousin wakes up and it's like, you know, holy smokes, it's morning. It's Christmas morning, man. Kevin's all like, you know, Fuller, don't get your hopes up. I don't think Santa visits hotels. She's like, oh, you crazy? He goes everywhere. So they wake everybody up, run upstairs. They see a whole bunch of gifts, truck full of gifts. And, you know, very happy moment. And his uncle's like, better not open anything of mine. I mean it. So Buzz gives a speech, says, like, you know, since Kevin, you know, got us in this situation again, that, you know, we wouldn't be staying in this perfectly, you know, huge hotel room with a truck load of this free stuff. So he says Kevin gets to open up the first gift. Throws Kevin a gift, and they say, I'll say Merry Christmas. Kevin sees the turtle doves on the Christmas tree, sneaks out, runs out to the park to find the pigeon lady, gives her the turtle dove, and explains to her that, you know, as long as they each have their turtle doves, they'll be friends forever. Well, you know, she thanks him. They have a good moment. The room service bill that Kevin did comes to the hotel room. Kevin spent a lot of money on room service. So Buzz looks at it and he's like, oh, Dad. All of a sudden you hear, Kevin, you spent $967 on room service. Kevin runs off, movie goes off. That's another part that I rewinded as a kid a whole bunch of times. So, that's it. This is one of my favorite Home Alones out of 1 and 2. I'm not going to count 3 because 3 is a whole new story with a whole new kid. It's just about Kevin's story. So like I said, out of these, like I said, I love the first one. Love it. Love the first one, but this is my all-time favorite one. I just love it. But, man, I can watch both of these over and over again and never get bored. But like I said, Home Alone 2, favorite. The New York, I know it was the same plot, you know, and the same concept as the first one, but just seeing New York as a kid, I was amazed. Seeing the Plaza Hotel, I was amazed. A lot of funny scenes in this. Marvin Harry, you know, every actress did a great job. So, on a scale 1 to 10, you know, it has, you know, it's, of course, no movie's perfect. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a very good Christmas movie. So, on a scale 1 to 10, I would give Home Alone 2 Lost in New York a 9. A 9. Give this a 9. I can go back to it over and over again, and it completes Kevin's story. And the crazy thing is, when you look at it, these two is like, and like looking at the actual movie, it's like faith, because they never left Kevin home by himself. The whole neighborhood and their house would have been ripped off for Marvin Harry. If Kevin never got on the wrong plane, Marvin Harry would have ripped off all the money for Children's Hospital. So it was like a sign of Christmas faith that Kevin was supposed to be left at home and was supposed to get on the wrong plane. Because without him, Both movies, Marvin Harry would have got away with both of them. But where we at? Oh, this is a long review, like 40 minutes. But thank you everybody for checking out this review. I really appreciate it. Definitely appreciate all the support I get. And back one more thing, that pigeon lady. I just don't understand with the creepiness of her and the old guy in the first one. Like, they're just like this plain look on their face. Like, I would be scared too if I was Kevin. But it turns out she's a real nice lady. But yeah, thank you everybody for checking out this review. I really, really appreciate it. We are just getting started on my Christmas movie review event. And we are, the next two movies is tonight I'm going to go see the Violent Night movie. So the new Violent Night movie that's out. So keep a lookout for that review. And we're going to be doing Home Alone 3. I'm going to give my takes on that because I know that's not a good receipt. Like there's a lot of backlash for Home Alone 3. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that one too. But I'm not going to be reviewing any Home Alones after that because I'm trying to keep this, event, really happy. But I will, if you watch this whole review, if you want me to review the Home Alone remake, because it'll be a huge ass rant on that, but I can already tell you right now. If you want me to give my thoughts on, what is it called? Sweet Home Alone or something like that. The Home Alone remake that came out on Disney Plus. Comment down below and let me know that you want me to do a review on that. A terrible movie. That movie don't exist to me. This is it right here. That remake, no. Hell no. But like I said, I'll review it if you guys want me to. I'll review it for the channel. Just leave, comment down that you want me to review it. Well, please like, subscribe, and, share the video. We are just getting started. What did you think of the first and second Home Alone? Like, I want to hear you guys' thoughts too. So, leave a comment down. What did you think of? Did you like the first Home Alone? Did you not like Home Alone 2? Did you like Home Alone 2 and then like the first one? Or did you like both of them? Or did you like none of them? So, yeah, give me you guys' thoughts. So, please like and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.